Hi, good afternoon. Jim from Mavstar. If America is a God-fearing country and claimed to be a Christian country, then why did half the country vote for Donald Trump? If any Christian lived next door to a man like that, they would detest him. I know that. He's been convicted of sex crimes, friends with Jeffrey Epstein, that's why he won't release the Epstein files, because his name's through and through on them, as well as all his buddies, and he said it'd be embarrassing. He put Ghislaine Maxwell, who was a prolific child trafficker, bringing underage women to these paedophiles. He admits openly about groping women in the, private parts. I won't say, I won't be as crude to mention what parts they are, but I'm sure you've got an imagination. He's welcoming with open arms and red carpets, not just Vladimir Putin, but Benjamin Netanyahu, who's wanted by the International Court for war crimes, genocide and mass murder. And then, of course, we saw last week Donald Trump meeting with Vladimir Putin. Another prolific murderer of innocent people. We've all seen what's happened in the Ukraine over the last 3 years, haven't we? And all as I say is, what's going on here? Why is Donald Trump supporting Israel with billions of pounds worth of weapons? Why is the American army or military invading countries like Iran for the benefit of Israel? What's going on? What sort of world do we really live in? And if we are Christians, are we not held responsible for what goes on around us in this world? Do we not have any influence at all on what is happening? Is that the sort of president that sets a good example for the country when he's surrounded himself by people that are the same as him? Absolutely the same. You could argue, oh, you're picking on the President of the United States when you've only got to look at the UK. Well, yeah, we've got a problem here with the UK. The UK. Sir Keir Starmer, his wife's divorcing him. You've only got to put two and two together to figure out why that is. Something ain't right, is it? With these world leaders, they all seem to be of the same mould, if you get what I mean. They're the same people, and they're not very nice people either. If you can welcome with open arms someone that's committed genocide, then I'm sorry. You are aiding and abetting in that genocide, and therefore you should be taken to the International Criminal Court yourself. Anyone that has helped, the massacre and the bloodshed of Gaza should be taken to the International Court and tried accordingly for aiding and abetting. Because if it was any other situation, if we was caught, us little low-life nobodies was caught committing a crime or helping somebody commit a crime, then we would be just as bad as that person that committed the crime, and we would get punished accordingly to that. So why is there, such a two-tier system where these people get away with blue murder? You know what's going on, and so do I. It's the lobbying of these big corporations, the pharmaceutical industries, the military complex. That's what's going on. Those are the ones. And we've seen interviews. Tucker Carlson interviewed a congresswoman the other day, a senator I think it was, and it was made clear. She came out and told everyone what the deal was. If you do not support Israel, you will get taken out of the game. And that is exactly what they did. They paid millions of pounds to have her removed from her position. They set up such an opposition that she had no chance of winning after that. That's, that's the world in which we live today. And that's the world in which we are leaving future generations from this point. They're setting a precedence of corruption, and then, people will see that and think, well, if they can get away with it, so can I. This world will plunge from this point on out. And I said, with the censorship that's going on, You know, they will destroy whatever archived records that people will be reading in the future. What they'll be reading is nothing short of a pack of lies, because as they go along, you know, the months and months, they rub out their footprints behind them like thieves. And therefore, in the future, what people read about this time that we're living in right now will not be the truth. It will be nothing short of the truth. It will be a load of lies. So, my point here is if we're Christians, why are we allowing such filthy monsters to rule us all in this world and make decisions on our best behalf? Why are we allowing that to happen? When surely, as a Christian, we have a duty to correct this wrong. That's what I'm saying here. This is disgraceful behaviour. He should never be in the White House, as far as I'm concerned, and it's the same with all the other politicians globally. You know, I don't know a good one. Does anyone know a good one? Put it in the comment section. One good politician. But don't make me laugh by putting Trump in there, because he's far from squeaky clean, you know, with his criminal track record for sex offences, his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein, his reducing maximum security for minimum security for Ghislaine, and even sympathising with her by saying, I wish her well. I wish her well. Really? Just put that into context. Who he wishes well. A monster that trafficked young women. That's the world we live in, and that's the truth about Donald Trump and all the other world leaders. Yeah, what a shame. You know, I am so sorrowful for the future generations that are going to come, because we have not left a better place. We've left it 10 times worse, and it will be probably irreparable for the next 3 generations to put that right. You know, just thought I'd share some thoughts with you. We'll be doing Falf at a Glance over on Poleshift News on the Patreon channel. If you want to join us over there, you're welcome. Link down there in the description. You can click on that, it will take you straight over to Patreon and join us. There's a good group of people over there, some real nice people. And the only other thing for me to say is what I usually do. As always, bye for now.